that it has lost contact with one of its planes. Malaysia Airlines has lost contact of MH17, Flight 17, from Amsterdam. We believe it was en route to Kuala Lumpur. And if this is the case, it was a Boeing 777, and there are pictures coming in at this hour, and we want to show you from that part of the world. Pictures from Ukraine, of course, a lot of focus in recent months on Ukraine and the Russian border there. These are the pictures coming in at this hour. The plume of smoke, as you can see, rising there, reportedly believed to be smoke from the crash of this jet, although Malaysia Airlines will not confirm that their jet has in fact crashed, simply saying at this hour that they lost contact with MH17. That would be Flight 17. Of course, a lot of people are immediately going to say this is Malaysian Airlines, remembering that they just had that catastrophe with their other plane that disappeared. That was 131 days ago since MH370 was lost, vanishing in midair. Of course, so many passengers on that flight as well. This particular flight this morning that we're talking about had 280 passengers, it's believed, 15 crew members. And again, you're looking at pictures right there, that plume of smoke on the horizon. That is from Ukraine, not far from the Russian border, where there has been so much attention, in particular the last 24 hours, about Russian troops assembling in greater numbers on that border. The president, in fact, talking about the escalating conflict within the last 24 hours. But at this point, Malaysian Airlines simply confirming that they have lost contact with that flight. I want to bring in our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, who's watching this with me at this hour. And Martha, this is an extremely troubling headline, particularly for an airline that has been in the news in the last couple of months.
It is indeed, and exactly as you said, David, everyone will focus on that and how that happened, and if this plane has indeed crashed, how that happened, particularly in the volatile border, as you spoke about there, and whether it is possible that somehow that plane was brought down. But all of that will have to be looked at, whether or not it is even possible to bring a plane down there on the border with some sort of missile, and what that range would be if that is possible. But right now, we are just waiting word from Malaysian Airlines whether they believe that plane crashed or whether it has simply gone missing.
Martha, stick with us here as we're on with live breaking coverage on ABC News here of a flight that has gone missing, according to Malaysia Airlines. They've lost contact with it, but of course, as we've been showing you the pictures coming in, a lot of speculation that those plumes of smoke you saw moments ago are, in fact, the Boeing 777 after crashing in Ukraine. I want to bring in Hrabove, our correspondent in Moscow, who has more at this hour. Kirat, what are you learning?
Yeah, hi, David. That's right. Right now, this plane is said to have gone down right around the heart of where all that fighting has been going on in eastern Ukraine. You may remember that the Ukrainian military has been fighting against those pro-Russian separatists for the last few months, and the battle has really been heating up over the past few weeks. In just the last few days, the Ukrainians accused the Russians of firing into their territory and downing a Ukrainian military plane. So all of this is going to really complicate any sort of rescue effort between the Ukrainian authorities and those pro-Russian separatists.
Kirat, as you know, there are going to be a lot of questions about whether or not this flight was in fact brought down. We are using extreme caution in even exploring that possibility. But